Okay, here we go. This is the last part. The shelter here. You really opened the shelter to the public, to really like your column and invite people here, politician here. And I'm sure, like, I was here once, Jordan Graham. I didn't come inside with him, but you really opened the public to this place here.
I think that's been critical to the progress we've been able to make. It's only when those who are in decision-making roles, whether they be in bureaucratic roles, whether they be in political roles, that they can actually stand in the place where the individuals are staying, or where they're eating next door, or where they're taking different programs. It's only when they're there and they see it, feel it, and have that sense of how difficult it can be. It's only then that they're going to move forward and make the changes that are really so critical if we're going to reduce poverty within the province. So yeah, very open about it. We had a gentleman who was here for 19 years.
I was just going to get to that. What's one of your highlights? And that 19-year-old gentleman, that's a lot. That's one of the big ones.
Yeah, 56 years old actually. He was here for 19 years. Well, you know, some time ago I stated that there were a number of things I wanted to see happen before I could leave the shelters, and one was that this individual would actually leave here. And he left here 4 months ago. He's doing fabulously. He is the example, the big example of how the system fails, how the cracks are open. But when I would have ministers of government, deputy ministers, assistant deputy ministers, town councillors in here, we would meet around this gentleman's bed, because we would talk about him and where have we all failed. All of us have failed when this can happen. It really struck a number of the key people who do make decisions. I think it had a positive effect in some of the changes we're seeing take place.
Speaking of changes, the 3 years you were here, we had our infamous moving of the Family Services Office, Social Development, across the river at the highest peak of the city with no transportation. Do you see that place coming back on this side?
You know, they've made a big investment over there, and they seem to be feeling that they're going to stay. It's very difficult, and continues to be difficult. Interim measures have been they've been put together to help those who are initially on income assistance, and then if they have an appointment over there, transportation is supposed to be organized. But I can tell you that from my personal experience in helping our clients, lots of times it's still a struggle for the frontline workers in that department to understand
what's going on,
what's going on, and how to get the individuals there. It's changing, but the only long-term solution is when the city decides to put a bus route back up in that area. I don't foresee that they're going to turn around and say, let's move it all back downtown. I have suggested, and others have suggested strongly, that they should at least have a small office over on this side of the river, so that people can drop in for those appointments, can walk to those appointments. I haven't seen any progress on that, and I don't know if maybe this is at a time of an election. It's the politicians.
Nah, it don't matter. Come on, Brian. You know it's the bureaucrats that's telling the politician
could be
what to do.
Well, you know, the only thing that usually moves things is at a certain point in time when you do have elections, politicians will make promises and you can hold them to it.
But the poor don't vote, Brian. They know that.
I'd love to tell you I've got a magical answer for all of that, but I don't.
No, it's a very, very emotional issue. There's something I want to say. Oh, even though if the bus is there, even though, let's say they put back the bus, if you only got to see your worker for 5 minutes, then you got to wait for a bus. And it's windy out there in the winter. I mean...
The counter-argument could be that there are a lot of folks on the north side who also have to use the services or need to call upon the services of social development as well. So I think the case of having a satellite office, to me it doesn't matter where the main office is. Yeah. If you had a satellite office on both sides of the river, I think that would be the common sense.
Satellite office. Oh, yeah, I never hear about that. But I hear about that, but I never know how it works. But that's good. So you're leaving. And you were leaving more white hair? No, you're not bad.
No, you know, I look at my pictures from a few years ago. I had a lot of white hair already a few years ago, so I don't think I've got any more.
No?
I'm just happy to have my hair at this age.
And you know, this is going to be a new project. This is just you're going to move in. I mean, do you have ADHD? You jump all over the place. No?
Well, you know, that's a really good question. Lots of times when you go into different types of jobs, you know, if you're in them 3-4 years, that's when you get the peak performance, if you like. But in this particular case, we've made progress in so many areas that I feel comfortable that we have a strong staff in Grace House for Women and here at the Men's Shelter. We have a strong board of directors, strong ties to the other organizations, and I feel very comfortable that that progress will continue. And because of my role with United Way, that keeps me connected, very directly connected, to the shelters, the kitchen, the John Howard Society, the food bank, and all of the other agencies which United Way supports. So I'm maybe moving out of this particular office, but I suspect I'll still be around.
Brian, listen, for me it was good because I learned a few things. And if we had problems, of course, it was all stuff off the record, and we try to help people. And if I want to get some information, or you want to get some information, and you know what, I don't believe that I could really work with somebody like you. Again, I mean, you did a fantastic.
I was that hard to work with, you mean?
No, I mean, it didn't come out right, you know. But I mean, to have the open door, and you want to know something, you did a fantastic job. I just want to congratulate you, and you will be missed.
Thanks, Charles. You know, we'll still be talking. If you know, anytime you want to talk to me, I'm like
just an email away.
An email away, and we'll talk about issues and subjects that are very close to your heart and close to mine as well. And so I see it as a continuation. I don't see it as a stopping of anything.
Well, Charles, Brian, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Charles.